Welcome back. Join me once again in the classroom and see the final activity.
All right, class, so I'm sure by this time you're ready to work with your partner and write your descriptive passages about the animal you have chosen as your topic, correct? But before you do, I'd like you to use the original passage, the one on page 7, remember that? I'd like you to use that as your model when you write. Clear? Yes. All right, start writing then.
You have just seen how the skills of listening, speaking, and reading are integrated with writing. You see, when you teach writing, you don't teach it per se. You combine it with other language skills. And although some short writing exercises are interspersed with other skills in the process, the major writing output usually comes at the end of a sequence. Writing is often a good way of concluding and giving reinforcement to the activities that have been taken up before. It is also frequently suitable to set such a task for the students to do at home. You have just seen how the skills of listening, speaking, and reading are integrated with writing in a continuous and related sequence. Let us have a recap of the activities just presented to you with the corresponding skills practiced. First, the teacher introduced the topic animals to the students by asking them to listen to animal sounds. Then, she asked them some prepared questions to elicit what they knew about elephants. The skills practiced then were speaking and listening. Second, the students read a short descriptive passage on elephants to check or find out the answers to the prepared questions. And that was reading. Next, the students compared how many answers they got right and how much information was new to them. The skills practiced then were speaking and reading. Then the students worked in pairs and chose another animal. They discussed and made notes and answered to a set of questions like, where does it live? What does it eat? And the skills practiced were speaking and writing. Finally, the students wrote a short descriptive passage on an animal they had chosen based on the information in their notes and using the original passage on elephants as a model. Obviously, writing was the skill being focused on. What skills are practiced by your students? Where does writing usually come in when you integrate skills? Based on the example given, tell your students the integrating factor used. You see, there must be some integrating factor, something that links the tasks. Do you know that there are two main reasons for devising activity sequences which integrate the skills? These are, 1, to practice and extend the students' use of a particular language structure or function, and 2, to develop the student's ability in 2 or more of the 4 skills within a constant context. The main aim of the activity sequence shown in the lesson is to develop writing skills with a particular focus on the language of description. And do you want to know the advantages gained in providing students with integrated skills? And what are they? First, integration allows for continuity in the teaching, learning program. Tasks and activities are not performed in isolation, but are closely related. For example, the students can only successfully do the final writing tasks as a result of the preparation in earlier activities. Likewise, integration helps to ensure that there is input before output. The input will form the basis for the learner's own output. An integrated skills approach capitalizes on the complementary relationship between listening, speaking, and reading, writing, and by doing so, helps to enhance the teaching, learning of each individual skill. Integration also allows for the development of all 4 skills within a realistic communicative framework. The framework promotes awareness not only of how the different skills relate to particular communicative needs, but also of how they lead naturally into each other. As in real life, for example, A telephones a station to inquire about bus schedules.
Victoria Buses, good morning. This is Manny Martinez. May I help you?
Hello, yes, good morning. I'd like to know the schedule of the bus heading for Batangas.
Clearly, speaking and listening were the skills being practiced. A takes down information in note form.
Okay, the first trip is at 4:30 a.m.
Yes, it's an air-conditioned bus. Then another bus leaves at 6 a.m. Then next trip comes at 9 a.m., then another at 12:30.
The skill being utilized here was writing. A tells B the information. A and B decide which bus to take.
So the first trip is at 4:30 a.m. The next is at 6, then at 9, 12:30.
So have you decided what bus to take?
I can't decide at the moment.
I suggest you take the 6 a.m. bus. It isn't too early like the first trip, and a lot of people take the 9 a.m. bus.
And I don't have to travel with the sun at its hottest? Yeah, I think I'll take the 6 a.m. bus. Thank you. Goodbye.
You're welcome.
Obviously, speaking was the skill being focused on. A writes card to C confirming travel plans and time of arrival. This time, writing was the focus. The integrated skills sequence you have just seen is now clear, isn't it? Let us continue discussing the advantages of skills integration. Integration gives learners opportunities to recognize and redeploy the language they are learning in different contexts and moods. This helps the learners to recognize the appropriateness of a particular language form and mode in different participants. Integration also provides variety and can be invaluable in maintaining motivation. Furthermore, integration allows naturally for the recycling and revision of language which has already been taught and is therefore helpful for remedial teaching. Finally, integration helps the learner who is weaker or less confident in one particular skill. Now, let us review the advantages of skills integration. We said that the advantages of skills integration are continuity, input before output, realism, appropriateness, variety, recycling, and confidence. Look again at the activities in the sequence. What is the integrating factor? Is it topic or language? Observe the interlocking nature of the activities. Have you noticed how each task develops from those preceding it and prepares for those that are to follow? Instead of completing isolated lessons that assume the students later will be able to transfer the separate language arts skills to real literacy situations, students will learn language skills in complete and meaning-laden contexts in the first place. Thus, students' reading, writing, and other language skills will develop in concert in ways both students and their teachers recognize as meaningful, purposeful, and useful. Before we go back to the classroom and see how this process is done, let's pause for a station break. Stay with us.